Hey, Park Hill family, Evan here. As many of you know, our church will be doing a 40-day digital media fast for Lent this year. We've never done anything like this before. So starting Ash Wednesday, February 14th, going all the way to Palm Sunday, March 24th, we are going to have a church-wide digital media fast. This is going to feel different. You will be inconvenienced by this. And so starting with this video, our leadership is here to help you prepare for this. So the reason we're doing this is because these devices, our smartphones in particular, have virtually saturated our lives for better and for worse. As we spend 2024 focusing on the book of Acts and the practices of the early church as they follow Jesus, and allowing them to shape our lives as we follow Jesus, we want to create space for God to do what he wants in our midst. We want the Holy Spirit to be the primary formational force in our lives, because unfortunately, that's not the case for most Jesus followers in our context. Most of us, me included, have been more formed lately by our smartphone than the Spirit of God. And so what started as a simple tool to communicate with other people, a phone, it's almost become another one of our body parts, these smartphones. They're always on us. So we get more notifications and apps than ever, social media and news apps, things pulling on our attention and distracting us from being present to the most important people in our lives, impacting our relationships with those close to us, including most of all our relationship with God. And so even the mayor of New York City, I don't know if you caught the news, on January 24th, in a formal speech, he declared social media a public health threat, comparing social media companies to tobacco companies and even gun manufacturers. So whether you agree or disagree with that, the reality is we're being formed and deformed by these devices in so many ways. So here we go. What is the digital fast? Here's what we're inviting you to. Number one, you're going to take your smartphone and make it dumb. So what does that mean? Think about apps on your phone in two buckets. So bucket one is this utility? And bucket two is this a distraction? So utility is things like phone calls, texts, calendar, camera, weather, maps, anything else you literally need for your job. That's utility. And distraction, on the other hand, generally speaking, is things like email, social media, web browser, news apps, and so many of the things that just suck our time and attention away. I call them infinity apps because you can literally just keep clicking into infinity on all of these things. And so whatever apps do that, you need to get those off your phone starting February 14th. What that means is literally delete those apps. Of course, you're free to add them later, but delete them for now and don't have them on your phone for 40 days between Ash Wednesday and Palm Sunday. So I personally turned my smartphone dumb like 5 years ago and never looked back. Well, I've looked back sometimes because it's inconvenient when at a restaurant and you can't use your phone for a QR code. But they have paper menus at restaurants too. So no browser, email, socials, nothing. And I think that saved a lot of my life, honestly. But you don't have to do it for 5 years, just for the 40 days between Ash Wednesday and Palm Sunday. So that's number one. Number two, we're not just inviting you to make your smartphone dumb, but also to not look at other screens either for this time. This is a digital fast, so don't look at a TV or stream Netflix. Like, give yourself a full break. And then at the end of the break, once your soul is kind of detoxed from the digital, you can consciously reintroduce whatever digital stuff really brings your life joy and delight with other people. And so consider inviting your friends and family or your community into this as well with you. I think you're going to create moments you never forget that you would have completely missed if you were on a screen. So there it is. And we're going to have more instructions later on what this looks like practically. You can do a full fast where 40 days cold turkey, or you can take weekends off and take a break where you do digital things on weekends and then go back onto the fast for 5 days at a time. So whatever it is, whatever you decide to do, listen to the Holy Spirit and commit to it with us for these 40 days. When you join this digital fast, You're going to be joining hundreds of people doing it together, your community, your church family. We got this idea from Darren Whitehead, pastor of Church of the City in Nashville. He brought his church of over 10,000 people through this fast. And the feedback he got from everyone who participated was 100% positive. Like no one regretted not being on their phone while they were with their family instead. Like no one. It was 100% positive. So you're going to detox from needing technology for your dopamine. You'll be present for priceless moments with people who matter most to you, whether your roommates, your family, your friends, and most of all, you'll find yourself more present to what God is up to around you in the real world. God is real; He lives in reality, and so you'll be more present to Him in the moments. So, when else will you have an opportunity like this? Like to do something like this with hundreds of people you call your spiritual family. So to prepare yourself more, next week, February 8th or so, we're going to roll out a web page on our church website where you're going to get more information, and you can always reach out to the leadership if you have questions. So there it is. Come Ash Wednesday, February 14th. We're all going dark together for a digital media fast. So we hope you join us.